Hey guys, so I was just about to film a video with Kira and I couldn't find her anywhere, and I was told I couldn't get her back until I went to the platform tent and tried to find the life-size items, so the miniature items that we have displayed here. So there are quite a few different pieces. There's an akubra hat, there's also a sign, a few different nature-themed animals, and some food as well. So I have to go around the area, try and find the life-size items, and then I can get Kira back so I'm able to film that video. So the first life-size item I'm going to try and find is the sign. So I know there's one right down the road from me, so I'm on the way there to see if it looks exactly like the one that we have too. I just arrived on the street and I'm just turning the corner now and I can see it right over towards the other side. As I reach closer to it, you'll be able to see it a lot clearer, but it seems like there's two animals on this sign rather than just one. There are two different animals on the sign. There's a wombat and a kangaroo, and they have this sign here because there are a lot of those animals in the area and you just have to keep an eye out for them for when you're driving around. So here we have the miniature sign and the life-size sign right next to each other, and you can see that they look pretty similar. They both have a kangaroo on it, but it's pretty awesome that they do have one of these signs in the area. So let's go ahead and try and find another life-size and miniature item. I have to try and find quite a few different food items, so I'm going to be going to my local grocery store. So here we have the section that features Vegemite, and there are so many different styles of Vegemite to choose from in different containers as well. These ones here are probably the most noticeable ones with the yellow and red label, and it says Vegemite at the front. And here's the mini Vegemite. It looks exactly like the life-size one, so I'm just going to place it right next to it. And the next food item we're going to try and find is Tim Tams. Tim Tams are chocolate-covered biscuits, and they taste so delicious. It's one of the most popular snacks here in Australia. They have quite a few different flavors of Tim Tams these days, so they have the original ones right at the front, and then they also have these ones which feature caramel and honey, and then they also have double coat, so it just tastes more chocolate compared to the original one, and then there's some choc mint and more caramel ones over towards the bottom, and they also even have white chocolate ones too. So here's what the regular Tim Tams normally look like, but they do have a few for the holiday season, so they feature reindeers on them, but I'm going to place this one right next to the original one. So the next miniature item that I have to try and find the life-size version of is fairy bread. And fairy bread can't be bought, you have to make it yourself, and you need some fresh white bread, you also need butter, and hundreds and thousands. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase the items that I need for the fairy bread, and then I'm going to be making it right at the end, so stay tuned to see that. So if you don't know what hundreds and thousands are, they are really small sprinkles. So the hundreds and thousands are the ones I'll be adding in, but the one in the red packet are classic sprinkles and they won't work for the fairy bread. So I won't be purchasing those, I'll be purchasing one of these instead. You can see that they're really small and they're all very bright and colorful. So now it's time to go ahead and try and find the next life-size item. So I think we've organized all of the food, but the next item we'll be trying to find is an akubra. And the store that sells the akubra is right next to the water, and as you can see, it is such a gorgeous day today. And it is also very sunny and hot today as it is summertime here in Australia. If you've not heard what an akubra hat is, it's very popular in Australia, and Australia is quite well known for these as well. They are quite expensive, but they are really great quality. So here we have the miniature akubra. As you can see, it looks so much like the life-size option. So the next store I need to visit needs to sell Australian themed cards. So I have the miniature postcard here, and these cards are so pretty. It features different Australian wildlife and animals, and they all have a floral theme to them. And right next to the cards, there are some matching magnets as well. So one of the miniature items that I noticed that was there was a plush kangaroo with a joey. So that means I have to try and find a real life-size kangaroo and maybe a kangaroo with a joey. So there is a place nearby that has a lot of kangaroos. They just ask you not to feed them or anything, but they are very friendly as they're normally around a lot of people, but they just roam around and they just relax. They'll probably be under the shade a lot since it is a hot day today. So there's this large patch of grass here, and there are quite a few different kangaroos in this small space, and they've tried to find the shade and they're all just sitting there like so. So I haven't gone over towards the other side where there's normally more kangaroos, so I'm just going to have the plush kangaroo next to these ones, but I'm going to see if there's any more in the area. So I'm just walking over to that section now, and I noticed that there's something in the bushes, so I'm going to go ahead and see what it is. I'm not sure if you're able to see it though since it's under the shade, but you can see this animal is so large. It's definitely not a kangaroo, so we'll have to keep looking around to see if we can find any more. But just before we do find any more animals, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the beach. The water is so clear and blue today, and it is so sunny and hot, so it's definitely the perfect day to go swimming at the beach. And there's definitely a lot of greenery right next to the beach, but the beach itself wraps around all the way to the other side. So just as I was walking around, I managed to find a few kangaroos. So this area is a lot more shaded compared to the other area where the other kangaroos were, but there's a total of 3 here. There's 2 kangaroos and there's a joey. The joey is right behind the kangaroo that's scratching, so we have the plush kangaroo just right over here. And I noticed another kangaroo just towards the other side, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that one. So here we have the other kangaroo. I'm just walking across the street now, and I think it might actually have a joey. I'm going to go and take a look at it from the other side so it's facing the front. So here we have the plush kangaroo right next to the actual kangaroo, and if you see right in the middle, its pouch is full because it actually has a joey inside of it, so you can't see its face. I think it's only its legs sticking out, but that's so awesome. It looks so much like the plush kangaroo that we have here with the joey. And here's a closer look at the kangaroo, and you can definitely see the joey a lot clearer, and it's just relaxing in the shade. So now all we're doing is heading back home so we're able to make the fairy bread, and we're going to try and make it look exactly like the miniature size version. So the first step is to get a piece of bread, and all I'm going to do is add butter to it, and you have to add a lot of butter to the piece of bread. So I'm going to spread it all over, making sure it reaches all of the corners and everything, and that just makes sure that 100,000 sticks onto the bread itself. And this snack is definitely very simple and easy to recreate, as you only need the 3 items: the bread, the butter, and the hundreds and thousands as well, but you just need to make sure you get the right sprinkles. So once the butter has completely been spread, we're going to be able to add in the hundreds and thousands, and you want to add as much as you can so the bread piece is completely covered. So all I'm doing right now is adding the hundreds and thousands sprinkles on top of the bread. All of the sprinkles are staying in place, or most of them, because of the butter, and this snack is so delicious, and I would definitely recommend trying it out if you haven't tried it out before. So here we have the life-size fairy bread now complete. So all I need to do is show you the miniature fairy bread just to give you a comparison of the two, and as you can see, they both look very similar. So after comparing all of the life-size items to the miniature items, I went back to the tent and we have Kira here. So I'm so glad that she's here, so I'm able to film the video I was originally going to film. So be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite item was that was featured today. It was so awesome to see the kangaroo with the joey, and the fairy bread looks so delicious as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it.